Welcome to today's edition of Communication. Today we'll be discussing how communication is important in contemporary organizations. For this example, we're going to use the modern workplace. Communication has been around long before the modern workplace, but the modern workplace has made various advancements in technology in order for communication to be better used. The first such technology is the telephone. We have Sandra to give you a little bit of background on that.
Radio telephones were first used in Germany back in 1926 on first-class passenger trains, but are only used by trained specialists. The first untrained end user to use radio telephones happened in the 1950s. Direct dial mobile phones have been in existence since the 1950s. The first fully automatic mobile phone was developed by Ericsson in Sweden in 1956. It weighed merely 90 pounds. The upgraded version was introduced in 1965, weighing in at 20 pounds. At this time, mobile networks had to be created. AT&T was the first to get approval for a network in 1982. The world has never looked back.
Thanks, Sandra. After the telephone, we moved on to the television for communication. From there, we proceeded to the computer several years later. The computer took a new spin on communication by allowing people to email one another. Sandra has a little bit more about that for you.
In 1965, the first email system was used at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It was called Mailbox. The system was designed for only be used to send messages to various users of the same computer. When computers started to talk to each other, it was clear that there was a need to issue addresses to specific computers as the U.S. Postal Service has for houses. Ray Tomlinson invented a more modern email in 1972. He picked the ever-famous @ symbol to send messages from one computer to another. The first software for organizing email was developed by John Vital in 1976. The first good commercial email system was developed in 1988. Once the email system began to come of age, then servers began to appear and things got fancy. Now hundreds of millions of people use email for an instant, cheap tool for communication.
Thanks again, Sandra. Emails took us one step closer to the modern media known as the cell phone. The cell phone's taken all the previous media of telephone, televisions, and computers and combine it all into one. This portable media device is the necessity of most businesses in the modern day. We have Rick Torres from guerilla to tell you a little more.
Well, one of the things, as anyone who has a BlackBerry, is it's synced with our Outlook. So now I get emails all through the day. So if I'm at lunch or I'm in a meeting, you get your emails and you respond to them, where normally you get back to your desk and then for whatever reason, you delay, responding to your emails. And that, to me, is the biggest thing, is the emails. You talk to anybody, it's answering, replying back to your emails. Now, in that respect, there's some emails that needed immediate attention. Well, if you're not at your desk and you didn't put your Outlook to, reply back to emailers that you're out of the office, give them another alternative, then, you can miss a deadline, or you can, maybe there's banking issues where, we get drafts in or going out or coming in, and they need to know if I approved it.
In Rick's particular case, they used the BlackBerry. The BlackBerry has networks designed specifically for email usage for the workplace. If communication wasn't such a necessity in the modern workplace, we wouldn't have cell phones, and more than likely we wouldn't even have the telephone. However, that's not the case, I'm glad to say. That's all we have for you today on communication. We hope that next time you'll join us as we go into nonverbal communication.